Hi friends, come with me to the riding club training day at Barnadown on a borrowed horse. First off, I was late. I got there and managed to get Bobby ready to go, and we got him in the box with Ruby and left by 7. We got to Barnadown just at 9 o'clock, so I helped get the other girls ready for 9, and then I got Bobby ready and we had a cute little matchy moment. So we started with cross-country warm-up with a coach, and Bob has hunted a bit in the past and he works in the riding school now. I never actually jumped him before. I sat on him for about 15 minutes yesterday, and then today just got up and tried to get a feel for him. Here we're working on a light seat, lengthening and shortening a canter, and I'm using my balance strap. I used it pretty much all day. Mostly to help my confidence, but also to stay off his mouth because he is a bit of a head shaker and gets quite upset if you catch him in the mouth. And I put quite a strong bit on him. I put a Waterford 3-ring on him just to make sure I was safe and had enough stopping power when we got out onto the cross country. I also put some rolling spurs on just so I had some control over his body because he really struggles to go into the outside rein. You can see there he's shaking his head as I'm trying to bring him back a little bit. I really tried to keep the contact very light and use a lot of leg and a little bit of spur if I needed to move him over, and just kind of meet him where he was at and take him as he is and enjoy ourselves. You can see here I'm using my balance strap to lock down my outside rein and just give me some stability and him some stability, so that I can keep it on and stay in control but have it steady in his mouth and not catch him accidentally. Now we're trying to have our first ever jump together and we just had some steering issues. His challenges are mostly in the corners rather than actually at the jump. And once I got him over the jump and up to it, he felt so smooth and he really was actually quite easy and gave me a lot of confidence for the rest of the day. Then we headed over to the cross country field and we had another coach and had our first little pop over a log. You'll see here that it's the stopping that causes issues with Bob sometimes. He is known as a certified lunatic in the riding school, but I think he actually just gets overwhelmed sometimes and he really doesn't like when you're too heavy on the reins. Here again, we're just having a bit of steering issues. He really doesn't want to go from the inside leg to the outside rein. So I sort of just had to take him as he was. We came back to walk, made it all very easy. And he was better on the up bank this time, but I lost my balance a little bit and stopped riding. So he ran out on me there. So we came around again and did it in trot again. And he was definitely a bit easier. I definitely find riding up the banks a bit more challenging. Going down them, I literally just took a massive breath in and out and held my balance strap and looked up at the sky and let Bob get on with it. And then this time we're going to go over the bank and do the log. And he took this a bit easier. I think I was starting to relax as well. That's our coach definitely said, you need to relax more and trust him, and just keep the leg on, stay back, keep my shoulders back, and keep driving him on and keep riding. Then we turned around, tried to come back, and he thought about having a rear. He was just getting a bit overwhelmed by the bit, I think. Like I said, it was very strong because I knew I needed that power just in case, because he is a leaner. He gets very strong in the mouth. And he was just struggling when I would get him on my aids and ask him to kind of bend through the turn, that he didn't want to go that way. He's quite stiff in his body, especially to the right. So the coach here told me to ride, told me to get on with it basically, and tell him I'm the boss. And I got a little bit firm with him and sent him on. And then he did pretty great up and down the bank. We stayed together. Then we moved on and had our first just trotting through the water, and that was not a bother for Hunter Bob. And you'll see here as I'm trotting around the corner, when I'm not at the jumps or I'm not doing anything, I'm really trying to just stay relaxed and keep quite a light contact while still steering him around, using a lot of leg, using a lot of body to steer him and slow him down. Then we came through the water again and went over the table. And the first time we jumped this actually quite well. He did it great. And then the second time through didn't go quite as planned. So you see we're trotting through the water and we just have a little glance off blow. We don't quite meet it right and he locked his jaw and went to the right. And I just went with him. I didn't really want to go falling over the jump and came around nice and quietly again and he popped over it. Then we tried the palisade on the other side of the water, and actually this was a really great fence and I felt like we jumped it really well pretty much every time. I think he thought about running out on it once, but I kept that leg on and just pushed him over and he went through it nice and smooth. So this fence, and there was another fence after it, the whiskey barrels, that came up really nicely and I think Bob really enjoyed. We got a good few shots off a really forward stride at it. And then we started putting a few together and he started getting the hang of it, I think. Then we started having trouble at the table again. Again, it was really down to steering. It's quite a tight right turn down to that table. He really didn't want to go there. So the coach said to try a much shorter approach, even come in trot or even walk. This time he tried to run through her. I'm not brave enough to push a horse into jumping the wing of fences, so sometimes I do just go with it. But we got over it that time. I got a little bit left behind, but I had the balance strap there to save me and he counted on really nicely and went on a really good forward stride. By the end, I felt like we were really rocking and rolling. He was really starting to trust me. I was trusting him. And this is from the end of our trip around the course. I really loved that final jump that he gave us. I really felt like I was with him and I was so proud of Bob today because he really tried his best and I'm kind of proud of myself because I haven't done cross country in 10 years. So follow for part 2.